Can you tell us your first name and your age?
Jennifer, or Jenny, and I'm 42.
What does it mean to be you?
To be me, and now that I'm in my 40s, means kind of reconnecting back to the things that I love to do: dance, singing, theater, writing, all the creation stuff, and not getting so caught up in working and raising my children and, being the kind of CEO of the family. I think it changes from time to time, so I think really in my 40s was kind of about getting back to who I am underneath all of those roles.
What does it mean to be perfect?
Perfect was something that I really strived to be as a mom initially. The truth is there is no perfect, that you're striving to an ideal that just you can't live up to ever. I call myself a recovering perfectionist, and I try and instill that in my daughter, is to say you don't have to be perfect, you just have to do your best. You may feel bad like, oh, I'm only giving 80%, but your 80% could really be someone else's 110%. So not to stress about that, because when you try and be perfect, you just end up making yourself miserable.
What does it mean to be 42?
Well, 42 means it takes me a little bit of time now to stretch out. I can't just go out for a run or do a tap class without having adequately stretched. But it also means not really doing things that don't serve me anymore. I have set, certain boundaries in my life, or I will decide that, I don't need to be the person who's going to volunteer for all the things. I'm just going to say this is the one thing that I can focus on. It's really kind of cutting away some of the extraneous stuff that you just don't need in your life, and you really just focus on what works for you and for your family.
What does it mean to be kind?
Kind is really understanding where another person is coming from. A lot of times it's maybe taking deep breaths, a lot. Just really trying to understand that everybody that you meet is probably going through something, and one day they just seem to not be their friendly self, to take a minute and just say, how are you doing? And really look at them, because I think sometimes we get so involved in our own little bubble that we forget that other people have things going on as well.
What does it mean to be a friend?
To be a friend for me right now is to be able to sit with someone when they've experienced something that's really sad, or if someone's really struggling. We always feel like we want to rush in and fix it and offer help, and sometimes you just need somebody to just sit with you and understanding where they're coming from. And I think a lot of it is listening and try to hear what the other person is saying. Especially in this current climate, it can be really difficult to be friends with someone who might have beliefs that are so different from yours, but then really the more you listen to them and have those face-to-face conversations, you can really find out that actually your views might be closer than you think. You're just looking at them from a different perspective.
What does it mean to be successful?
They will tell you that to be successful means, the 2.2, the kids, the picket fence, the house. For me, being successful means that my entire family feels fulfilled. Mom's not really stressed out about work, or dad's not really stressed out about work, that we've found something that we enjoy. And even if we don't enjoy it every day, that's okay, but that you can come home at the end of the day and have a good day, and that you don't need to have all this stuff. Sometimes it's, you want to make the memories versus the things, and sometimes your fence is just kind of ugly and you want to get rid of it.
What does it mean to be confident?
Confidence for me is a lot of you're facing your fears and you're still doing it anyways. At this stage of my life, in terms of all the work that I've done in my career, that I stand confident in the knowledge that I have, and that I'm not going to let someone, take that away from me, because I own what I can do.
Can you tell us a little bit about the work you do and what that means in relation to your confidence?
I'm a maternal mental health advocate, and so I've done a lot of kind of webinars, volunteered, written blogs, and it's really about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and knowing that you don't always have the right thing to say, but that you've been there and you know that there's hope on the other side. Like one of those life rafts that you're saying, here you are, I'm pulling you into the shore, you know, we've got your lifeline and we're not going to let you go.
What does it mean to be present?
To be present means to really be there. It can be really challenging to be present. What I try and do is pick little moments. I wave my daughters off to the dance studio and I'll wait until they go in. I watch my oldest, who's an artist, take us around the art museum and say, this is the one I love and come look at this with me. And really trying to focus on those little moments, because I think as human beings, we're kind of like a squirrel, right? Oh, look at the pretty shiny thing. So to really try, don't beat yourself up about it, but find those small little pockets of presence where you can just be there.
What does it mean to be human?
To not be perfect, to fail, to get mad, to get upset, to be sad, to be happy, to feel joy, to create in whatever way you can. I don't think there is one wrong or right way to be human. I think it's really just recognizing that everybody's just kind of here trying to do the best they can.
What does it mean to be an adult?
To be an adult and to do the adulty things I think of are more like the not so fun part. I have to take the car in to get the oil changed, and it's really just recognizing that you are now in charge of making these decisions, and if you have children, then you're the person in charge of making sure you and your partner are in charge of trying to make sure that all gets done. But I think sometimes we get so focused on that you forget that you can still have fun and be silly and, you know, dance around. It doesn't have to be all serious, but I think part of it is that responsibility.
What does it mean to be in love?
I think what it means initially is really that you're kind of head over heels. All you can stop thinking about is that person, and then as the years go by, if you were like me and have been with your partner for 18 years, it's more about the person that's there for you, that you can tell about your day, and that sometimes you don't have to say anything, you just have a look and you're like, and it's really that feeling of being home now. You know, that's really what I equate that to now.
What does it mean to be lucky?
Lucky, I think, is more in terms of kind of finding the right opportunity at the right time. I think sometimes you have to make your own luck, to have to keep your eyes open for opportunities or signs. The universe is deciding, you know, this should be yours, or it's kind of your heart's way of showing you what you want.
What does it mean to be a family?
Family can be kind of a chosen family of friends. It can also be what they call like your family of origin, so your parents, siblings, or your immediate family. For me right now, kind of all of those people and more. It's knowing that sometimes you might not always agree, and that you'll get into disagreements, and it's not always perfect, but that there's love. Really, in the end, you come back to that feeling of home and love and belonging with those people.
What does it mean to be popular?
As someone who was not in high school, I think that popular is something that people try and aspire to, but really you'll find your tribe. I had a small core group in high school, and then I found a larger group of friends in college, and it's really just finding the people that you can connect with, because popularity kind of comes and goes.
What does it mean to be proud?
It's taking ownership of accomplishments, to maybe see things of people that you love and see how they express their talent. That makes me incredibly proud to watch my children, you know, do what they love to do. Playing instruments, watching my husband make music, watching my sisters sing. That's really where you feel that kind of feeling of, you know, celebrating someone else's accomplishments too.
What does it mean to be free?
Really be able to live my life the way that I would like to live it, to not really worry about what other people think. You really just need to stay true to yourself.
What does it mean to be a role model?
So, as the mom of daughters, to be a role model for me right now is really modeling body positivity, body acceptance. You know, we don't talk about diets or that, then I really try and focus on what can your body do. So it's really recognizing that you are a role model. Even when you don't think you are, people are still watching.
What does it mean to be safe?
To be safe, for me, I really look at that as in terms of emotions, that I want to be that safe place for my daughters to land when they're feeling upset or frustrated. You know, in terms of being physically safe, I think it's just using your common sense.
What does it mean to be happy?
More of counting your blessings and really being grateful for what you have. Because I think if you aspire to be happy all the time, that's not going to be possible. But really to find those small pockets of happiness and those little blessings that you see every day. That's what I think happiness is.
What does it mean to be a survivor?
So for me, to be a survivor, it means someone who went through a lot of anxiety and depression. That was pretty much hell, and that I just wish I could disappear. And what that means for me now is that I've come through the other side, and that I can use my story to help others. I can talk to other moms, and to not be ashamed of what I went through, because it's made me who I am today. That you move from that, you know, kind of survival label to not only am I surviving, but I'm thriving now.
What does it mean to be home?
Be surrounded by the people I love, to be surrounded by good food, music, joy, even in like awful weather that we have in Wisconsin. Sometimes to me, home is just that we're all together. Even though it's, you know, a blizzard outside, we're all together, and that's all.